Peace, y'all. Whew, I did a poll, and today we're going to talk about astral projection. The poll was on my Instagram, and it was a preference for me to do a video on it instead of going live. So here I am. Here we are. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to share some insights and some summaries and just spew out some information because I've been reading about astral projection, so I picked it back up. And I'm able to understand things more. At first, it was because it was an experience that I was having. Like, almost, it would happen on Tuesdays. No, it happened when I fell asleep on my couch. I would just be asleep. I would see myself on the couch, and I'm just walking around my apartment. I was like, what is this? And I was wondering why it always happened on Tuesdays. I still can't really explain that for you, but so as we tap into astral projection, let me get a little comfortable. Because if I fall, I'm gonna be so sorry. We just gonna do it like this. Astral projection. I think that a lot of people think that astral projection is when, it doesn't matter what y'all think. Honestly, let me tell you what it is. When you astral project, you're asleep. Your physical body or physical counterpart or shell is asleep, and your astral part, your spirit, we're gonna call it astral part, the you that is in the astral realm, comes up out that body through a cord, right? So say this is the sleeping you, this is the regular you, this is the front of your, like the front of your head, and it's the back of your head. So that line goes like that. Now some people, right, they don't get too far with this. Like the let me slow down. It's called a cord. So the cord activity range is thinner when you are healthier. It is thicker when you're not that healthy. You know, when you don't focus on your well-being. For real, it affects your sleep. It affects every inkling of your being. So of course it's going to affect your sleep. But when you astral project, you can go places a lot further than you would think. Let's just imagine a healthy person. They're asleep, and then I guess when it starts to get into REM sleep or whatever, when you're in that deep sleep and you lose consciousness of the fact that you're asleep, you know how sometimes when we're waking up we start to regain that consciousness. So the cord is we're gonna start to come out the body, and it rises and it stays. The book says it starts horizontal like this. Again, these are two bodies. And then as the higher that you go up, the more you start to come up vertical. Now, once you go vertical, you can just go explore, but you always want to be attached by that cord. And the interesting thing about the cord is, if the cord is severed while you're in the astral realm, you will not come back to that body. So that means death. And this is sometimes what happens in a seance, like when y'all calling on somebody and somebody get hijacked real quick, like, oh, hold on, I want this one. But that's like more so possession. But essentially, if that cord is disconnected from you while you're in the astral realm and your body didn't come back and your astral body didn't come back to your physical shell yet, that's death, essentially. So I found that interesting, thinking about the things that you can feel and see and all of that, right? Because your physical body is not where your consciousness lies. So when you go to sleep, your consciousness, your subconscious, whatever, that is with this. Now, if you tend to feel something in a dream realm or it feels so real or something like that, it's probably because you're in the cord activity range, right? And then in the cord from the physical body, it's sending pulses, because the physical body has the feeling, it has this, like, so it's more like a dual connection. It's not two things feeling. One thing feeling through a conductor, and the conductor is the cord. So some people describe this cord as like what they'll say, a bright light. You know, people try to teach you how to astral project or whatever, but everybody does it anyway. It's just all about the consciousness of it. So when I tell you that everybody does astral project, I come from the standpoint of we've all fallen, had that like, you know, fallen type of dream. We've all had just some type of dream where your body has done something that you felt like in the dream realm. I felt like I was falling. I felt like I was zigzagging. I felt like I was whatever it was. And in that falling dream, we kind of are shook a little bit. Like, it scares us and we are shocked back to sleep. And why are we shocked back to sleep? Because the cord is kind of like You know what I'm saying? That astral cord that allows us. So who you could have been off into dreamland, way outside of cord activity range, and then say something in your consciousness starts to wake you up, like you hear a loud sound, and then that sound brings about an emotion that is negative. Then your body is going to come back and do that. That's that startling. I guess that's how you would describe being startling in sleep. But that's how I know that that's something that we've all been through. Like, we all astral project. It's all about what you're able to control when you're astral projecting, what you're seeing, if you can do anything about what you're seeing. And if you see something in the astral realm, again, you just getting that, you're getting that conduced from the cord. That line that's tying you to the shell and to the astral realm. That is going to be the conducer of your emotions, the conducer for you being able to see things, because your eyes are closed inside on the shell. Your eyes are closed. So when you see something, like, people have this experience of like being on top of their body and watching themselves sleep, like, yo, I see my shell, like, this is me, or whatever. I've had that experience before, and I wasn't actually seeing in the physical realm and seeing in the astral realm. What was happening was I was seeing through my conducer, right? Seeing through the shell because of the conduction of the cord. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I was talking before about a seance, or screw the seance thing, or getting hijacked. I just want to draw a connection between spirits and things like that. So when you're astral projecting, that's called your phantom body. So that made me think about phantom pain. You know how sometimes people have they get something cut off. I'm not remembering a proper medical word for it right now. Cut off, severed. There's a word. Whatever, but when that happens to them, sometimes they'll still feel the pain from that leg, that arm, that, like, dang, my arm hurt, but I don't even have an arm no more. You know, because it's the phantom. It is like that physical connection, that cord connection. So why it's no longer a part of the shell no more? Because your body, because the shell is not what holds consciousness, it's not what holds subconscious, the astral part is still doing it. The astral part is still holding that memory. And then going more or further into that effect, there is a couple of times mentioned in the book where they had this, I want to say his name was 89 or Mile 89 or something like that. He used to work on a train track. A deceased person from a book, is a story, was crushed underneath the train, or he got hurt, or he passed away doing what it was that he done did in the physical. They did not know, they had no consciousness of being dead, because the consciousness was carried with them to the phantom, to the astral realm, to the ether, to the, you understand? There was another example of like someone in war. So imagine they are running away from, you know, an enemy, running away from whatever, they get shot in the head, they pass, they fall, but the phantom is still running in that direction, unaware that they are passed away and, you know, unsevered. They're no longer connected to that cord, no longer connected to the physical realm. So they can keep roaming forever, running, thinking that they're human until their consciousness finds a way to understand what's happened. Sometimes it'll take an encounter for them to understand what's happened. And there are people, like, when they saw me tapping into astral projection, even just with me posting a book that, oh, you better be careful doing that, they say you better be careful doing anything when it's not in the physical realm. But honestly, you have to be careful no matter what you're doing and stay protected no matter what you're doing, because again, since you're sleeping in this astral realm, you're connected to this cord. You don't know what you may see out there. You don't know how advanced somebody else may be in the astral realms. And I feel like if you make that your focus, then that's what's going to come to you. And if you out here, like, say a whole bunch of psychics live in one place and then you sleep right in the middle of them or something like that, as in, like, they're around your apartment building and you are the room that's around all of them. That's what I'm saying, not actually physically in the room. You're probably going to astral project a lot more than you would if you didn't have that area. And because they are mentally stronger than you, even though they're not trying to attack you, something could, you know, whatever. I feel like it's like shrooms, like, you do it when you're ready. Whatever. It's more like it's going to happen anyway. It's about how conscious you are of the fact that it's happening and how you're going to react once you understand that it's happening. So people have this sleep paralysis effect that they like to describe. Like, when you look up astral projection, that's the first thing to come up. Oh, it's a monkey on my back. No, that's actually probably yourself, and you're scared of yourself because you haven't confronted whatever is in your subconscious and you're scared of it. However, once you can get past that fear part, you're able to maneuver a lot more in the astral realm, a lot more in the dream world, a lot more control is gained, and you can kind of see what you want to see. You can go to sleep with an intention in your mind. Oh, I want to see this, or da-da-da, and you'll actually be able to go there in the astral realm. You understand? Sometimes your angels just do that anyway when you got a lot of spiritual wealth. But yeah, it's like being able to control it, doing it intentionally, and it's all about imagining that chord, and you'll feel it, you'll see it, and once you are in that space of seeing yourself, how are you about to react? Don't be scared. Because it's you. Why would you be scared of yourself? I think I spewed enough information on astral projection, or at least inspired some thoughts, some searches, some questions in the mind, probably even some astral projections on purpose though. So I'm gonna definitely share a picture of the book inside of this video, probably right here or something. Yeah, y'all can tap into the video, of course. But my whole thing is, don't make Google your soul thing, because Google is not. Don't Google for spirituality. Talk to somebody in your community. Talk to somebody that you see that can give you some real resources. If you are in school, use that research lab, use the library, go further than Google, because if you want truth. I will see y'all again on the 25th for the new moon in Scorpio. There's also an eclipse happening, so it's a lot of transformational energy. How exciting. So yeah, see y'all then. Peace, love, blessings.